Hey, what's going on, G-Ballers? Today, I have an exciting new knife here to share with you coming in from Remette. If this is your first time stopping by, welcome to GBall Vision. Drop a comment down below and let me know what your EDC is for today. If you're not familiar with Remette, they have been on absolute fire over the last 2 years, and this is going to be one of their latest introductions into the more premium side of their lineup. This is called the Remette Two-Face, and this knife is available. There's other versions of it. I'll have whatever I can linked down below in the description and in the pinned comment. Now, I intentionally don't know a ton about this knife here. I've seen just a few photos, and that is about it. I am liking what I see right here, though. We have a nice full-length titanium backspacer, and that is chamfered off nicely, so this is going to potentially have really good ergonomics. I'm a big fan of full-length backspacers. We have a couple of ways here to deploy this with the cutout, or the fuller I should say, the mini fuller, the studs, and the rear flipper. And we're looking at titanium accents all the way around. Couple of good size body screws here to keep everything housed together, and that fuller works good for the reverse flick at least. And we have a dual grind here, looking like a hollow running into a flat grind, so very nice in that department. Little hoop here up towards this swedge going down towards the tip. Yeah, this is a good looking blade right here. And then our studs are, out of the way. Good sharpening choil here. Pretty good size as well. It's not huge, but pretty decent size. And you have this little 50-50 area here where you can choke up right behind that edge for some added control. And we're going to be looking at M390, of course, here from Remette. They use a lot of M390. That is one thing I'd like to see Remette do more of, is use some other steels. I know they've used S35 in some of their latest designs and a lot of M390. I don't have a problem with those steels. I just like to see a little bit, of a variety when it comes to what models they're putting out with, what steels. Like this would be awesome with like an M4 or a crew wear blade, just that type of thing. But I love everything else that Remette has been doing here since 2024. From what I gather, there's a couple different versions, and this one here is going to come in right around $250, which I think, that's a fair price for a new model coming out in premium materials. Maybe like take another 25 off, but I do have a coupon code for their website, and I'll have that link down below in the description as well. But full retail is going to be right around $250 for this one. But they do have a all murdered out version, and I believe the blade is a DLC finish as well. And those are going to come in right around $300. And I'll pop up a photo of that DLC version so you can get a peek at it. But as of right now, both of them are in stock, which there's sometimes Remette comes out with certain designs and certain versions just sell out very quickly. It does say that there's limited stock, but there is plenty of both versions left. So let's see what we're looking at here in regards to the size of the Two-Face here. We'll go with total length first. And we're looking at 7 13/16 strong, so good size. We got 3 inches of cutting edge straight up, and we got 3.5 inches of total blade there. So we got a good size knife. That full length backspacer really ties this in for me. Huge fan of that. And if I ever do a design, it will certainly have a full-length backspacer to it. And we have a nice little lanyard hole here for the lanyard fans even. And I'm not 100% sure on the ability for this clip to be switched over. I'll take a look at that and see if this is left-hand friendly as well. We do have good access to that lock bar, and there is a chamfer on there, so that is well done. You know, I say it, and it's not a huge deal. I would like to see some jimping on here as well. It just makes it, to me, and that's just my opinion, of course, but like some fine jimping with that chamfer, it gives it a cool aesthetic, I think, and it just makes it even better. But that's just a minor thing I like to see. But all in all, Remette has done just a bang-up job over the last couple of years. We'll roll into some size comparisons here. We got the Benchmade Bug Out up top here and the Kaiser Drop Bear here on the bottom. And the Two Face, it's going to be in that next step up above something like the Bug Out. And if we bring out the Vosteed Raccoon up top here and the Kaiser Militol, you'll see it's going to be almost directly in line with something like the Raccoon, and then just a touch smaller than the Militol. Next up, we'll bring out the 50 Ways GBall Vision Hank, and we'll check this pocket clip out. I like certain clips that have this type of style if it's the right design. And this one seems to have pretty good clearance behind there, but you got to also match that up with good retention there on that ball. And that seems to be pretty good. It wants to drag a little bit. That's what we want, just for it to drag a little bit. So it's not too light. And then it seems to have pretty good spring in it as well. So time will tell on that. And we have a clean looking pocket clip, no hardware exposed, and there's a little bit of surface area there because the knife pokes out of the pocket just a little bit. And as some of you know, that's what I prefer right there. That is perfectly executed. As I said, we'll see about the ambidextrous option with this knife. I don't know if that can be switched over there to the left-hand side or not. If that's something you know of for sure, let us know down in the comments. That way I don't have to go looking, but I'm sure I already know by the time you're seeing this. So you can let me know, though, either way. Next up, we'll bring out the old arch nemesis here, and we'll give this thing a good old weight check. We like to guess the weight of these new knives here, and I invite you to play along. You can put your guess down in the comments. I love seeing everyone's various guesses. Remember, we'll go over it real quick again so you can get a fair shot. We're at like 7, or almost at 7 7/8 overall with, we'll call it, it depends on where you want to mark it, but we'll call it 3.5 to the start of the scale here of total blade. And we got that full length backspacer, which will add a little bit of weight, but we have a ton of internal milling in there for weight relief. It has a good heft to it. I'm going to say that we're up above 4 with this guy. I just had a titanium, a titanium knife with no backspacer. I'm going to say this is up at like 4.3. And it might even be more, but 4.3 seems safe. Oh! 4.6, I'll take it. We'll take it. Don't move. 0.3 off. I'll take it. 130 grams. 4.6 ounces. That's not bad. That's perfect, I think. Or, I like 4.5 to about 5.5. It just gives a good feeling in the hand when you have that weight. Now, of course, there's other applications that where you might want a lighter weight knife, but for an EDC knife, something to use as an all-around EDC, a little bit more heft goes a long way. Give this handle here a check and see what we're looking at. We got 0.54 there, so good handle thickness with that weight. And we're looking at 13.8 millimeters for our handle thickness. To the blade stock, we got 3.94 millimeters and 155 thousandths. So a beefy blade stock. And can't remember if I said, but that is a hollow running into a flat. So got a little bit of capabilities on both sides here, and we can check both just to see what we're looking at. And we got 24 thousandths there. And about 24 thousandths, 23, 24 thousandths right there in that particular spot. So pretty similar on both sides. We got 0.55, and that should be the same, obviously, if we get in the right spot, and it will be 0.55. So pretty standard, but with an extra thick blade stock. Let's see how this cuts out of the box. So we'll grab our catalog paper here, and this will be a good poker, a good poke and stick knife for sure. And it's cool that you have that hollow and flat, so you have a little bit of capability going both ways. Let's see here. Transition from one to the other should be very easy because it's not a drastic difference or a drastic transition. And that has a great edge. And I think that pearlescent finish that they do, I think that helps a little bit cutting through certain materials. It tends to, especially with that paper, because Remette, Katuo, and Reich, there's a couple companies who use that, and it seems to be a pretty good finish altogether. We'll go ahead and switch gears here and get the driver out, see what kind of hardware we're looking at. We're going to have T8 on the pivot there, T8 on all the body screws, and we have a hidden Torx bit there. So T8's all the way around. That is excellent. That's exactly what we want. That requires only one bit to disassemble this knife and do what you need to do. So very, very good on Remette's side. We have a perfectly centered up blade. The detent is definitely strong enough. As I said, if you were to get this for the studs, this isn't going to be a knife that you can just shoot it straight up, because you have to go around that frame a little bit. So you're going to want to kick it out more than up, I guess. But in regards to the flipper, that works really, really good. The reverse flick is nice. You can tell it needs a little bit of break in, and it will break in. We do have pretty good lockup there, about 35% or so, somewhere in that ballpark, getting close to 40. And if you're someone who enjoys a thumb flick, it'll work, it'll work good. You'll have to adjust for that external frame, but it can be easily done if that's something you like. And what do we got going on here? Oh, this has a removable flipper tab. Okay, I see. So you could kill that altogether if you wanted. I was thinking two-face meant the blade, but that also must mean the flipper tab here. I was wondering what that was, and I thought it was just a marking for a little bit there, but now that we're really looking at it, that must be removable there. Interesting. That's cool. So for the people who don't like flippers or don't want the flipper there, you can take it off, it appears. So that is cool. I will definitely keep it on there. I enjoy a good rear flipper and front flipper for that matter. Let's go ahead and we'll check this lock to finish us up. We'll get old Spine Wacky here, and we'll give the Two-Face a couple of taps and see what we're looking at. See how that lockup is? Yeah, that thing is locked up. Very nice. I don't think we've ever had any trouble, maybe one time 2 years ago or so, with a Remette, and I think that was something that happened with a few. I think it was those button liner locks. They had a couple, but they redid the mechanism, and you know, all is well. But other than that, I don't think I've ever had an issue out of their knives. We'll go ahead and start out towards the tip here. Go light just to get us going. And that sounds good. Typically, you can hear a good thud given back. Oh, yeah. That's the good stuff. Yep. That is exactly what we want right there. And we'll run this through some checks. Detent, closing action, breaking in even more than it was. Very good. And that'll get better as time goes on. I'm interested to hear your thoughts. What do you think about the new Remette Two-Face? Is this something you would add to your collection, or is this something you would skip right on over? I look forward to hearing from each and every one of you. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. That helps push this video out there to more people. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy knife and EDC content, you're in the right place. Make sure you subscribe because I release videos like this every day. I'm going to pop a couple of new videos up. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thank you all again for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.